Hey guys, happy Monday and welcome to another episode of Man Crush Monday feature. And joining me today is none other than Mr. Careem Gilbert, who is the owner of CG Creatives. Now, Kareem, give us a little background about who is Careem Gilbert.
Well, most people know, of course, I grew up here, Grenada, on the soil, right? Mostly in the St. David's area, and moved in between St. George's when I was younger, and so kind of like a St. David's, West Hall, Continent, and then Grandans, Akbal Avenue. So a bit of around that area. Went to GBSS.
Silly.
Right?
GBSS. Well, I'm a high school girl, so we 10 people.
Exactly. So it had mad, interference back then. High school, convent, that's a gang in a sense, and other St. George's schools. That was my peeps. And of course, I'm from St. David's, and St. David's Second was still in the mix and so on.
Right.
It's only later on in life as I meet those from Grenada and so on, and I have those friends out there. So I went to GBSS, and I always had a mad focus in information technology. I like that type of stuff, computer stuff, and I was like a top 5 performer in class from primary school and then into secondary school. But I had something that was that happened to me, during around Form 3-4 that basically turned me into the person that I am today.
Okay.
So I was on the very strictly book path, right? To a certain extent, get good grades, and then get a good job, and then pay some bills, and then you want to live out your life in a sense. That was it before, but then I realized that, like, damn, then what's your purpose? What's your purpose? And then as a little teenager, back then, imagine you starting to wonder, what's your purpose?
You started wondering that early.
Exactly. So then that led me to influences. I started digging deep, and then it led me to influences behind guys like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, in terms of people who like to invent things to make a change or to make a better planet. And so, because they were along the IT field, because one thing I knew, I liked computers. So I studied people who were great in that field, like exponentially great. And then so that basically caused me to form an identity for myself into creating and making services and making solutions and solving problems and inventing things. And basically that turned me into the career, that influenced my career path as a person. I went on to create, to date I have at least 3 or 4 companies that I've founded / co-founded. Right?
I didn't know that.
I know, a lot just happening in the background. Stay woke.
Okay.
Right? And there was stuff that we even brought forward to like huge corporations like banks and so on for innovation. And we were legit just ahead of our time with everything. Every single thing that we invented back then, legit been ahead of our time for beginning. And because that was like 2013, 2012, 2014. Fresh out of secondary school, we just started the thing. When I say we, it was me and a partner of mine, a developer friend. And so only now that these things start to get kind of relevant. So, we're going to push some of these things to look at for maybe they come to fruition, some inventions from us, I'm one of the persons that always I'm one of the persons that always doing things in the background, even though I have a front face right now because of the photography company. I'm always somebody who's a move on shake in the background of things, but I doesn't always show myself as that. You understand?
Well, sometimes you have to be quiet and then, let the success make the noise after.
Less drama, as you can see, I'm drama-ish free, I look at drama-ish.
Tell us about CG Creative and, what you've been doing with that.
So on the business side of things, CG Creative is one of my companies. This is one of my favorite companies, or one of the companies that's core to me, and also core to some things that I saw that was necessary or needed in Grenada and in the Caribbean states. The reason why I say so is because I was beginning to see how important content would be in the coming years, right? And that was a few years back before it was even needed now. And now that we're in quarantine, it's even needed more, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
started to see how essential content would be for businesses and so on. And so that's how I came about CG Creative. One of the things as well is that I always had a love for photography. So photography is one aspect of it where you could be able to produce striking images and so on for businesses and for people personally.
Mm-hmm.
And videos of course, and also their website, so like they could basically for their web presence. So it's something about the essential business. So it's like a part of me to serve the nation in a sense. So that covers like just a part of the business side of things.
Now, Careem considered himself a multidisciplinary creative. Careem, tell us, what does that mean?
So within the creative industry, there's many disciplines that you could specialize in, also, right? So being a quote unquote multidisciplinary creative means that you specialize in different disciplines. So, for instance, there's photography, there's videos, websites, graphic design, user experience design, and so on. Some persons specialize in probably only one, and then some could specialize in like a multitude. So it makes you a multidisciplinary creative. So there's no box that you put yourself into for that, because you have the ability to be good at the others in that sense.
That's awesome. So it's like hiring you is like hiring one person to complete everything. It's like a one-stop shop.
In a sense, yes.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, Kareem. Did you always have interest in the creative field, or is it something you found along the way?
So yes, I always had interest in the creative field, I would say, to answer that directly. But some of the things I found along the way as well. I was always interested in photography. I did it since I was like a 14-year-old or so with a point and shoot camera.
Okay.
That was around 2010, 11. I used to blog, I used to post up real stuff on Facebook back then. Back then I was a Facebook comedian as well. Okay. So
comedian. Wow.
Those guys that have a status every day.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Without shame. Without shame. So yeah, it was something that I was always interested in.
So just the photography, or like all the others, like the graphic design and the other creative things?
So I actually was thinking to be a software engineer. So was going to write code and things like that. Check.
And what happened?
So write code for programs and things like that. That was my aim back then. And then it was kind of difficult to do as you're from being here in Grenada. And so I took more of a front end respect to things, meaning that I do most of that appear in your face rather than behind the books in terms of when it comes to the web. And that will bring me to the interest of websites, because I used to code and build websites and things back then too. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yes. So my next question have to do with finding your purpose, but you already touched on that and said since you were in high school, you basically were thinking about your purpose. So do you find what you're doing now to be exactly your purpose, or is there something more that you think you have to aspire to? Or
I feel like there is always more. As we evolve. To answer the question, so I found my purpose to be basically someone that enhances stuff in other people's life, right? Like being able to provide and so on for them, or create services and so on for them to better themselves or to make profits or whatever the case is, right? That's one, right? So to be of the part of to contribute to the growing economy, right? That's one. And in terms of, let's say, other parts of other purposes, beyond work, there is also fulfillment with travels, fulfillment with so kind of experiences that I want to experience. And I would want to think that there would be a point in life when maybe I would like after I achieve stuff that I want to achieve, then I start to see like a different shift in things that would focus on the side of my career instead of the career exactly. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I kind of get it. But don't you think that the two could coexist?
They could coexist, but right now I'm like working hard. But
because I feel like especially as young people, we tend to put focus on like getting this career or getting doing all the hard work and kind of forgetting to like just live and just be at times. So we burn out ourselves, and then later on in life we think, okay, we're going to do all of this. Well, not, I wouldn't even say young people, because I think that has been the mentality of even our parents, that you work hard in your younger years and then you enjoy your life in your older years. But as we're seeing now, that is really, you have to try to find some way to balance fun and hard work. So are you trying to balance that, or are you just working for now to have that life after?
Good question. So it comes in phases, right? I think to me it was something that you kind of like had to earn. So in the beginning of things, you work really hard, right? Like barely sleep, type of stuff like that, and then you put things in place that would set up for later on, where you would have a bit of a more relaxed environment. So when I say that, I mean, like, for instance, if let's say you used to walk to photo shoots and stuff like that, I used to walk all the way down on Spain for photo shoots and things like that. Then you set up yourself in such a way that you get transport that you could drive.
Right.
But then, besides just the material things or whatever that makes life easier, on the financial side of things, you also have to set things in place. So, very good question. This is something I should touch on. As an entrepreneur, so you would have what you call your active income and so on, right? That's things that you have to work to earn actively. Right. You have to go to this place, you have to go to that place, blah, blah, blah. But then you have to also make different streams of income to basically enable you to specialize in certain things. So when I say that, what I mean is, for instance, if you were to, let's say a photographer in these cases, or a blogger in these cases, I would just like say write, keep writing and so on, and they realize that they need to acquire a new space, like a new house or a new apartment or something like that, to be able to be better at what they do. So then the active income can't provide that. So then, to take themselves to the next level, you have to think of other creative ways to subsidize leveling themselves up in terms of as a creative and so on. So that's one of the things that you have to think about. So you can't just be like just one track to always you be at the same level in the next 5 years in terms of the market and what you offer, in terms of competition and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was something that I had to notice too.
What have you found to be the most challenging part of what you do? And how is it challenging doing it here in Grenada?
Oh, whoa, that's a really good question. So I would say one of the most challenging things about what I do here is scaling. So basically moving from being just a one-person group to building a team.
Okay.
That's one of the most challenging things. Also, being the fact about Grenada is with the creative industry. The creative industry is an industry that's just upcoming, right?
Yeah.
And it's legitimately dictated by the people that are in it. So it's not like, let's say, somebody from 35 or 40 years ago knew about the creative industry in Grenada. It's only the new flow of people now
Millennials.
is who influences that. So I won't even think that we have much people in politics and so on that is noticeable of the contribution of the creative industry. So there's a lot of things that are lacking here. A lot. For one, it's near impossible to get yourself good gear on island in terms of a camera that you want, because the only way to get it is online. They don't really stock that here, right? So we always have to buy equipment in US prices, of course. We don't really have all the facilities necessary to that we might want to always do the production that we need. So all of us have to be very creative with our approaches. So for instance, in the US and so on, you have studios, you have your big backdrops, you have your lights, you also have gears that you can rent or just like a daily use, stuff like that. And so being in Grenada and so on makes it, even though you have the skill for it, you have the skills, you could definitely execute that if you were born anywhere else on the planet.
Right.
You're born here, that's the
resources.
Exactly. So that is extremely challenging here. But just being that early movers and shakers, the few of us that exist doing this to basically blaze a path in a sense.
You have any idea like what like maybe the government could do to help bridge that gap?
Good question. The way I think the government works is that I think something has to be making profit, right? The fact that there are creatives here and they're doing it for years and so on shows proof that there is profit, right?
Yeah.
How does it profit them in a sense? Now, one of the ways that I'd say on a Canadian level that creatives start to be important to the economy is tourism and so on, because you know we take the boss bitches in a sense. Which I'm gonna say. We take them for
yeah.
So I would say so once it makes sense to them, then they could like have grants. They could invest. Definitely they need to invest in an open house studio. You know, like how you have a library where people come in and read books.
Right.
Have a big like like an industrial park how they have those hangar rooms and so on. Have a big room like that that's just for creators, for them to just come shoot, go. That would contribute to them growing YouTube channels. That would contribute to carnival bands. That would contribute to a lot of music artists leveling up their production. It would contribute to a lot of digital production here in Grenada, and it would also up our level of production. So instead of filming outside, sometimes you could use, although outside is nice and beautiful, but you could use like nice studio lights and environments that you want. So I think that they could invest in an open house building where we come and we could just create in there. Be it that, let's say you build by the hour, something like that. That would be even for writers and so on. So when I say creative, I'm not just talking about photos and stuff like that. We're talking about people that exist out of the simple standard of the 9 to 5 work.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you know, I am rediscovering Grenada in all its glory. What's your favorite thing to do here? What's your favorite place to go? Like if you just need to go clear your head, like where do you head to?
Favorite place to run away to? Oh, that's magic. So I would say an Airbnb.
You make use of those? It's good to hear a local actually saying that.
Yeah. But naturally, like nature-wise, there's this spot up on top of this big hill. I go there sometimes, and then you just look around. You just be able to see a big view of Grenada and Multidisciplinary Highway all the way down to the airport, and be able to just see life happen.
Yeah.
And that's helped me like mentally unwind.
Careem. I say,
Yeah?
I don't know that spot. I never hear about that spot before.
I only found it because I went there and shoot someone that lives there once, and I was like,
Oh.
wow. So, other than that, I would say I like to go to the falls and then the blue hole and those places like that. But that's standard. That's
Right.
regular. That's really cool.
Right.
Yeah. But that place is like one of my places. You feel me?
So tell me something. What pisses you off?
What grinds my gears?
Yes.
Not much things piss me off, right? Because I don't have.
Well, you're just a cool, calm. Like you are very calm. I could attest
Yeah,
to that.
not much thing does put me out. Or put me out. But something I'm trying to find something that would get under my skin. Let me see what would get under my skin. Definitely not red woman.
Oh God. He's a fool now.
I can't think of something else right now.
What is your favorite Grenadian dish? Luton Island.
Canadian dish, other than Ireland. Love me some bakes and cocoa too. Yes.
Oh gosh. That
Big
is
fan.
heavenly. That is heavenly. Cocoa tea is the shit.
Yeah, but the cocoa tea that I have to do, and then sometimes your mom have to put it to make it cool. Like, you have to put it in a cup and put it
Yes, and
that cocoa tea.
but I haven't seen people done that in like so long.
In a long time.
Like all these little things from old time is just going out the door. Like nobody remembers. It's so funny that you bring it up. Wow. So
Awesome.
I am on a self-love journey, right? Where my goal is to completely embrace the truth that I am enough. Is that something you fully embrace, or like me, it's something that you're consciously working on?
It's something that I embrace. It's something that I embrace. I understand who I am. I understand what I am, and I like it. And I'm very, very, very good with it. In terms of like, just as I said before, there's not a lot of things that could get through to me.
Right.
Especially from the external world and people who doesn't matter in that context, right? So I'm extremely embrace who I am and what I do and what I love and who I love and things like that. So I say confidence is there 100%. And
awesome.
Yeah. But it's something that comes with this territory as well. In terms of being an entrepreneur, because you're always putting things out, new things and so on to people. So you kind of get an iron or a steel plate in a sense when it comes to dealing with human beings in that context, because you have to step out of your comfort zone a lot, and there's a lot of high pressure environments where you just act chill and you just be cool, and so you learn to master and just be comfortable within your own skin and your own body.
That's good. Yes, it's definitely important for the field where you always have to be interacting with other people, because you know how other people personalities and your personalities could clash. So you're right, you have to be sure about yourself, as to not make other people's personality rub you the wrong way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I just have experiences like that. Sometimes I meet people and then I just feel the presence or the energy. Like, let's say if they're trying to pause the conversation, or if they're trying to do a little shade or anything like that. Like, I feel it and I know it, and then you just know at the end of the day what you're doing in terms of your purpose, and it's not necessarily there. They should influence that. They should be having that thought. Right? So that's something that I think as well. And I also understand that, let's say, when dealing with humans, humans who are in pain wants to inflict pain, usually on other people.
Yes,
Yeah, they're bothered,
yes.
right?
Mhm.
And you never stoop to become the victim. You never stoop to become the victim. Never,
Mhm.
never. It had to get a reaction from somebody like me that says,
All
yes.
right. So some juiciness now. Have you been in love?
Wow. I have.
What would you say was a highlight of that in your life? How has it influenced you, changed you? You know.
Wow. That's good. Yes, it has highlights in my life. And yes, it has influenced me and changed me. All of that. You know, it teaches you things in terms of caring for another person, you know, beyond yourself. Always looking out for them, and also understanding the opposite sex in that regard. In ways you never thought. You never thought in movies, you never thought in books. Some of the things you just have to see to your face.
Right.
Right? So but I would say it has shown me the dark sides of people. It has. And it has shown me the amazing sides of people. Because it's a give and take, it's a yin and a yang. So it has highlights my life, it has shown me a lot of different characteristics in life that I love and that I it have to be specific questions regarding to that, but that's the general answer. So yes, yes, and yes.
Okay,
yes.
good. Okay, so what do you value most when it comes to relationships?
I would say value peace. Okay.
No, that. Listen, I just the other day I was thinking of the question, like, guys, I was like, what do you bring to the table? And I'm like, I bring peace. And I think that's the most, that's so important. Because,
value peace.
Listen, I value peace myself, and I don't want anybody come and disrupting my peace, and I don't want to be a person that could disrupt my partner.
Exactly. So I value peace. I value a woman with purpose. When I say that, she doesn't always have to know what she wants.
Right.
Not everybody experiences that different level of diversity.
Yes.
I'm just saying that whenever you have an idea of like what you like and what you want, things like that, what you're aiming for, then I actually vibe with you in a good way. In that sense, I could actually link you on that. I value, of course, excitement. Just as you like peace, you like excitement. Just talking about the basic stuff. There's of course our trust. In the relationship itself, yeah, those are some of the things I value at the base. Just be interesting. Just be interesting. Because then I just find out anyways. I was like, dig. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, pick things. It'll be like, okay, that's interesting. I'll just like pick that out. And then I'll find ways to wrap around that, and just an experience.
What would you say is your personal style? Just for are you the...
So I would say personal style, I'm more of a, let me see how to put it. I'm more of an urban type of dresser in terms of, there's trappers, right? Let's say for instance, you think about Migos and then mad flashy Gucci belts.
Right.
Gucci belt, black leather jacket. It varies for me, but my base style, I would say, I'm more of the person that would wear like if I had a screenshot from the music video with A$AP Rocky and Drake and Kendrick Lamar, how A$AP dressed in that video, that's more of my style.
All these motherfuckers wanna dress like me, but till you don't make it sweat like me.
The coats, sometimes you have unbuttoned shirts right here. This
so it's a kind of casual, professional, you would say.
Casual, professional always included there. Yeah.
Right.
I like cardigans, I like coats, I like jackets, I like ties, I like white shirts, I do like belts as well.
Yeah.
Sneakers, you know, it's kind of a type of dude you would see, as I say, from that music video.
So COVID has hit, and it flipped everyone's world upside down.
Upside down.
Like, this has been like a nightmare. It's like I'm sleeping and wake me up when it's all over.
Exactly.
What has been your biggest lesson that you've
I feel like we had lessons.
I agree.
Always be prepared. Always have a plan B for business wise, right? Always have a plan B. For instance, I do photography and videos and so on, and then obviously that would slow down. But I also do websites, and that's something I can do from home at any time, anywhere in the world. So that's something that I've always picked up. So I always had that as my plan B of services. On the other side of things, mental health is important.
Tell me about it. And this is the month of mental health, May.
It is. Wow. Mental health is extremely important. It contributes to everything of you. Because being home the first few weeks and so on was mentally challenging.
I can imagine.
Yeah. And creativity and so on, productivity and so on, kind of like fluctuating. I would also say that it's a very challenging time for relationships. Coronavirus, quarantine and so on. Extremely challenging. Even if you had an outside relationship, you had a legitimate relationship, you had a site.
Yeah. Everything is kind of
exactly. No, for real. It's like you can't keep the schedules intact. Conflict everywhere. So,
but I think it opened doors for more communication, though. Wouldn't you say?
Right.
And that's something that we in normal, when things are normal, you normally kind of skip over the communication phase. It's like you move so fast and you don't get that chance to really put time into getting to know someone. You don't have all the distractions, So it's kind of seeing somebody at a point where you kind of being able to see them and not all the extra stuff, if you understand what I'm saying.
Exactly, I do. Yeah. So is it basically all you could communicate. All you could do now is just communicate. All you can do is communicate. You can't be there physically in the flesh. Nothing like that. Just talk, and then you start to see who is probably interesting, who's probably boring, who's probably.
Exactly.
But then it makes you also second guess and double check yourself. Like, what if basically because that person just not doing good in quarantine anymore? Like what if some people can't communicate their personalities online that effectively? So then some people could be at fault due to quarantine. Some people could be at rise due to quarantine. So I tell it, like, the whole dynamic just switch up.
Well, thank God the place is kind of opening back up, and we didn't get that hit compared to other places. Like, we have to be truly thankful, and we're on our way back there, slowly but surely. We lost face masks, all of that. Don't depress me, please.
Yeah, we lost face masks.
Don't depress me. Oh my God.
We did.
Like, I was so, I know so much people was looking forward to Spice Mass this year. Like, I feel like it would have been. I was always saying that this year would have been a telling year. We had to get it right this year, but I feel like I don't think we would have been ready to get it right as how I imagine us being able to get it right. So I'm just hoping that the Spicy Mass Committee is already, they already have the ball rolling as that planning
we were
for
expecting the most mass bands as well this year. That's crazy.
Exactly, and that was scary for me because I'm like, the logistics has to be right. You know, like the plans has to be right, and I just felt that there would have been some hiccups. So yeah, I'm grateful for the extra time, but I'm just hope that it's being used wisely, and that meetings already starting to take place where Spice Mass 2021 is being dealt with. I look forward to Spice Mass 2021.
I remember meeting you in Spice Mass.
Yes! You're right! You are so right. That was 2018. 2018? 2018 or 2017? 2018.
2019 was last year, 2018.
Yeah, so 2018, that was one of my favorite years for Carnival. That was a good year. That was a fun year.
It was, and I was just taking pictures, but it was.
Oh my God! So Careem, thank you so much for joining me today, and I appreciate you giving me some time and my audience some time to get to know you a bit better. And you guys could follow him. I am going to post the link so you guys could follow him and see what he's up to. So thank you again, Careem.
Thank you for having me. I look forward to, of course, seeing it and so on. And it was a refreshing session, so enjoyed being here.
Awesome. See you guys next week with the next feature on Man Crush Mondays. Bye.